You're listening to the Sports Scramble podcast, where four friends serve up a weekly plate of sports with a side of SEC bias. Now, here are your hosts, Chet, Jacob, Wade, and Tyler.
Let's go!
Welcome in, everybody, to this week's episode of the Sports Scramble podcast, brought to you by our friends at Belly Up Sports. Host Chet, we got Tyler and Wade on. Poor Jacob's out with the E. coli, so thoughts and
Not
prayers.
to be confused with Ebola.
Yeah, Wade thought he was dying
Or
of
E.
some
coli.
prehistoric disease. But Jacob, get better soon. We'll have to send you some dude wipes or something because I can't imagine that's too fun of a issue to
And use them this time because we all know how you got Ebola.
Poor guy. He had it the last 2 weeks. He's back at work now. He just had to work late. Had to make up some of that missed time. But we got an action-packed show, big weekend with college baseball. There's plenty to break down on that. Of course, U.S. Open coming up at Pinehurst, number 2, which is going to be kind of cool because we could go play Pinehurst. You know, it's a resort golf place, so we can go play it anytime we wanted to. It's expensive. It is quite the price, and it's quite the test to your golf game. So, but maybe we'll check it out. Tyler, do you want to start off with big announcement? The drum roll. I don't know.
Yep. Well, first off,
yeah, we have two big announcements. If you haven't noticed, we hit 2,000 subscribers. It felt like it was just a couple of months ago that we hit 1K. So we definitely want to appreciate everybody and all the hard work that all of our guys put in. It's not just me. I just keep trying to tell that to Chet. It's not just me. It's not just me because y'all come on here every single week doing this show too. So this is a collective effort. So definitely congratulations to everyone. And we're not finished yet. We're going to keep on rolling. Until we can't no more, pretty much. So that's our first one.
Until the wheels fall off.
Yeah,
until
the wheels fall off.
Or until we have kids.
That's
there
true.
You go.
That's true. So yeah, we're gonna keep doing this as long as we can, and then after that, the world's our oyster. But second one after that, we have now reached the point where we can now offer members. So let's go ahead and roll the footage. I'll go ahead and shut up and actually let myself, I guess my past self, talk about what these memberships will offer. What is going on, everybody? Hope everyone's having a good day so far. We have some exciting news to share with everyone as we're going to be offering memberships right here on the Sports Scramble Media channel. So for the next couple of minutes, I'm going to be going over the different tiers that we're going to be offering in this What to Know video. So let's get right into the first tier. That's going to be offered right here on the channel, and it's going to be the Scramblers. It's going to be considered our silver tier, which is going to be at 99 cents a month. So that's pretty much the cheapest that can be offered. So first up is going to be the loyalty badges. Right now, we're just offering the YouTube generic loyalty badges, but as more and more memberships get rolled in here, we're going to be putting our own touch, creating our own loyalty badges. So definitely stay tuned for that. And then next is the members only live chat. So live shows, we have Sports Scramble podcasts, SEC Talk, and also college football coast to coast. So not only you be able to chat with us, but you'll also be able to chat with all the other members that consider joining us here. Priority reply to comments is another perk that you get with members, and also the Sports Scramble live call in. So the shows that we typically roll here live on Sports Scramble Live day nights, you'll be able to have your opportunity calling into the show, whether that's through Zoom or joining us and using your audio right here on StreamYard. And then we'll also have some members only polls. We'll definitely be using this as more of the sports season goes on, specifically college football season, trying to get your picks, what you're betting on as well. So that is the silver tier. Now let's get into the tier, which is going to be our super scramblers, coming in at $2.99 a month. So what you saw in the previous tier, you also get, in addition, you also get early access to new videos. So we're going to be publishing, whether that's our shorts or video, be able to have early access to that. You'll also have some membership shout outs. We pretty much do this regularly, but we wanted to add this as an additional. And then photos and status updates. We're going to be posting more on the community tab as the sports seasons roll on. Right now, we're kind of in a lull, but whenever college football season and the NFL season rolls on, we're going to be trying to stay active there on the community tab. So you'll have access to that. And then also the members only videos. You're going to have Fantasy Football Corner. You're going to have more of that, but you also get the opportunity of sending in your lineups to us, and we'll help try to figure out your best lineup that week. So there's going to be more to that. There's going to be in the college football season, you'll get our best bets video every single week. So that is with our super scramblers. And then finally, our level 3 is our platinum scramblers coming in at $10 or $9.99. You're going to get everything that you saw with the first 2 tiers with the scramblers and the super scramblers. In addition, connect with us on social media. We're pretty active both on TikTok and Twitter, so definitely follow us on that. But we'll definitely be connecting with more of y'all if you choose to be a platinum scrambler. Also, gameplay with you. We're going to be doing some more live streams, especially in July whenever the new college football game is up. So definitely going to be active on that. So, and also members only live streams. Like I mentioned, we have 3 active shows. So it might be every now and then that we just turn on one of those live streams and say, hey, let's go ahead and just put it on members only. So definitely stay tuned to that. So if you want to join here, you can visit there or click the join button right next to our channel page, right by the subscribe button. We definitely appreciate it. Hope everyone enjoys the rest of their day. So long.
Yeah. So we have reached a level on YouTube, like Tyler mentioned, where we can be monetized. So that's wonderful. So we're rolling out this membership stuff. We're figuring it out as we go. Like Tyler mentioned, we'll have some members only live streams. I think one big thing that we're batting around is Fantasy Football Corner with Tyler. Fantasy football experts will allow, if you're a member of a certain tier, to send your lineup to us if you have questions. We'll host live streams maybe Sunday morning before the game, Saturday evening. So, we'll have to figure that out as we go. But you can send in your questions on, hey, who should I start? We'll make sure to answer them. The best bets, we'll make sure we start doing some research and create some actual locks for our members there. So we can't just be throwing it off the dome.
Best
and of
fades,
course,
baby.
yeah, best fades. Maybe
Like
that's
a barbershop.
Yep.
Oh, that's a great name for a barbershop.
Like that. Hey, fade.
And then, of course, I think what'll be really cool is we're gonna open up an online dynasty for members as well to join once EA Sports comes out, and you can be in our league with us, talk trash, play us, have a grand old time.
Beat us.
So, yeah,
You
probably
can
beat us.
buy somebody's spot in our fantasy football league. Whoever finished in last, you can buy their spot.
Maybe so. You know what? I'm gonna throw one out there too. As long as our members aren't total creepos, if you pay for the platinum and I'm in a town that you're in, I'll play golf with you. We'll just throw that. Jacob will too. We'll get a little. We'll throw some golf trips out there. But we're still figuring it out. We got some comment here from Josh telling us congratulations. Thank you, Josh. The advice that you gave us to reach the next level, we really appreciate it. Make sure to check him out. Rising 2 should have some golf part 2 of our golf video over on his channel coming out soon. So with that being said, if you want to join, go over on our YouTube page. You'll see a join button. And if you have any questions, reach out to us on Twitter. We'll be happy to respond. I've rejuvenized the Twitter. I've decided I'm going to start using it as my own Twitter, start tweeting stuff. So stay tuned for that. But enough on the YouTube side. Let's get into some college baseball. So game going on right now, NC State, Georgia, live looking. What's that score? I think it's 4-2, top of the 5th, NC State. That's an interesting series because on Saturday, NC State came out and put a whooping on Georgia, 18-1. Georgia said, we're not done yet. They put a whooping on NC State, 11-2, and now they're the only game today for the chance to go to Omaha. So it's all ACC, all SEC Omaha. If Georgia wins, it'll be a majority SEC Omaha. NC State wins. I think it'll be split, right? 4-4.
Yeah.
Or is it?
Yep.
Yeah. So
It will be 4-4, but it won't be an even split on each side. It will be top heavy on SEC for one, and then
right.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of these games. Clemson, Florida last night, yesterday afternoon. That was insane. 13 innings with Florida taking the dub. And it kind of hurts more knowing that that's the run that LSU was primed to go on, right? Kind of suck all season, get hot at the right time, and win a regional, win your super. LSU takes it and can't do it against North Carolina. North Carolina, of course, moving on to Omaha, so congratulations to them. I mean, what y'all think of the college baseball this weekend? What was your favorite game?
A lot of home runs,
I mean,
that's for sure.
Yeah. I think my favorite one was last night's Texas A&M. To me, it felt like Oregon was just cruising, and then all of a sudden, man, Texas A&M about that ballpark hit a grand slam to go up 13-8, and after that, they just did not look back. But they did have an injury that's definitely going to hurt them, Brandon Montgomery. But the guy that replaced him was the one that hit the grand slam, so that's just a good thing that you just love to see about sports. So yeah, I think that was definitely one of my favorite ones. I think that obviously Florida and Clemson game, not even going to talk about the umps. Umps freaking suck. I think that everybody did it. But yeah, that A&M Oregon game, even like the first game was good too. I mean, Oregon got out to that 6-3 lead, and then Texas A&M's offense exploded. So yeah, A&M definitely deserve it, and they're definitely going to be a tough out in Omaha.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about some of their stadium traditions. The ball 5 thing is really cool. I will admit that was cool.
You don't like the bubbles?
And then we're getting there. Ball 6, ball 7. When you're a pitcher, this dude was struggling to throw strikes, and you're hearing ball 8. Like, talk about being rattled, okay? The bubbles after a home run, is it a home run or run scored?
It's after, like, every run that's scored, I believe.
That one's
what is this, coach pitch?
Yeah, that one's a little strange. It's a cool environment, but the bubbles, okay. Well, that's the Aggies. What are you going to say about them? But let's talk about these umpires in the Florida game. Why in the world was Clemson's third baseman ejected? He wasn't even in the little tussle between Caglione and the batter. I saw something. He made contact with an umpire.
Yeah, he left his position at third base to make contact with the ump. Is what I got from him. But it's still a BS rule. I mean, if you're going to throw anybody out in that situation, it's got to be Jack Caglione. But even at that, like, I wouldn't throw him out. I mean, it's that big of a magnitude. It's a lot of emotions. Clemson was pretty much a win or go home scenario. And Florida is, they were one win away from Omaha. So I feel like in those high pressure situations, unless the dude's absolutely like punching you or somebody like that, like, keep him in the game. And the fact that, like, if Clemson would have won that game, their head coach wouldn't have been able to coach because he was going to be suspended for 2 games.
And assistant coach.
And assistant coach too. So that would definitely, like, all this is definitely not a good look. And they took like so long for these replays. Like, nowadays they have to replay literally every single thing. It's just annoying. They like talk literally every single year of how they want to quicken the game, but these umps pretty much just ruin everything about this sport.
I noticed a lot in the college world, or in postseason play this year. Replays took extremely too long. They would go into replay for calls that wouldn't even matter, but then the calls that mattered during the game, they couldn't replay it. So that's an issue that needs to be discussed in the offseason. But I don't agree with you on Caglione should have been thrown out. I think the Clemson batter, because he's the one that shoved Caglione first, and then he kind of retaliated, and then that's when the whole thing kind of ensued. But I watched the video of the third baseman. He gets grabbed by the back of the neck by the umpire, and he pushes him off. Okay, if somebody's grabbing you by the back of the neck, like, you shouldn't get thrown. That umpire should be escorted out.
Yeah, if they initiated the contact.
Yeah, that I thought was insane. And then, of course, you have the 2 coaches get thrown out after the was that the 3-run homer to tie the game? Or
no, that was to take the lead like the top of the 13th.
Yeah, so the dude hits a home run to at the time he thought win the game. Yeah, it was a little bit of a backflip, but there's some emotion.
A little
it's
bit.
Right,
it was a bad spike.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like he choked the bat at the
warning, so I thought that, like, they were just going to throw the batter out, but I don't even know what happened in that situation for it to lead to the assistant coach and the head coach to both be thrown out.
Well, yeah, the coach came out and just was cussing up a storm and going to bat for his player. I don't know. I just think in that situation, unless he throws the bat at somebody, you can't warrant any sort of ejection from that because, like y'all said,
he hit the
they're
go-ahead
saving
home
their
run. What do
season.
you want him to do?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like after your boy Canarella in center field makes the Willie Mays catch and he like does a backflip and they throw him out or something. Like, what do you? I mean, the umpires have. I tweeted it. I was like, I should have said defund the umpires. That would have been better than take away their power. But it's just like it's gotten out of hand because these pivotal moments, like it's emotion. These guys are 20, 21 years old, 19, like, and they're playing for their season. Dude hits a nuke to take the lead in the 12th or 13th inning, the 13th inning, I think it was. And you eject his coach because he celebrated? Like, it's just, it doesn't, I don't know. It doesn't make sense. I think there needs to be a rule on ejections if you like cuss out the umpire like the coach did, okay, maybe. Or if you physically get in an altercation for celebrations and like bat flips and bat spikes, that should not warrant an ejection. Maybe a warning and like, hey, dude, don't do that again. And if he does it again, I guess I don't know. Yeah, it's just a slippery slope when you try to make a fine rule. But something I want to talk about, and as I type this, I realize it's kind of stupid about should there be a limit how many times a batter can be intentionally walked? Yes, you could just throw 4 straight balls or plunk him, and that's your intentional walk. But I personally think, and I want your thoughts on it, you cannot, like Caglione was walked 3 times yesterday intentionally. They should at least have to see 4 balls. He should have to get in the batter's box, and that pitcher should have to throw him 4 balls. Because if he screws up and he takes one 450 feet over the batter's eye, that's your issue. That's why you like don't throw it anywhere near him. I think there should be some sort of consequence for the defensive team if you're going to intentionally walk a guy 3 times because you got the most like powerful hitter in baseball comes up all 3 times with a chance to end the game, and it's like, nope, you don't even see a pitch. I don't know what are y'all's thoughts on
that? It's just hard to say because they took that away as a time-saving measure. You know, gave them the automatic base on balls. I've always thought that an intentional walk should count as 2 total bases, and you should get to go to second. But you would no longer see the intentional walk. It'd be the unintentional intentional walk where they just throw 4 outside the zone. You could treat it like a balk with the runners on base. It's just part of the game. Like it's just really important to have lineup protection, and Florida luckily does. You got to have a really good 3 and 4 hitter, or for that matter, 2, 3, and 4 hitter, just so that you have to fear the guy behind him, and it balances out enough. I mean, he's only getting walked if first base is empty, right? I mean, they're not gonna, walk him to push runners into scoring position.
That's true. They didn't, and they ended up striking him out. It was just kind of unfortunate that it's like he could end this thing right here, and he doesn't even. He just like walk because they said a stat he was walked 16 times in the past 14 games intentionally, not like throwing 4 balls, like intentionally walked. So that's. I mean, you think about it, that's 16 at bats because the walks don't count for that.
I think you put it up to 4 and they go to first.
Helps that batting average, man, and the OBP. But also think about it like this. I know that look, he's as prolific as a power hitter in college baseball, maybe besides Charlie Condon,
who was also walked an insane amount of times this year.
Yeah, but those guys, 30 home runs, that's incredible. The odds are, I bet you if you broke it down, you would rather take the guaranteed on base than to have him go up there because he's only hitting like 290 or 300, which is still great, but that means only 1 out of every 3 times he's getting a hit. So if you get the guaranteed base every time a guy stands up to the plate, I mean, there's something to be said about that too. And
I guess the counter argument there is when first base is open, you put him on base. Now it's a double play ball, so it almost hurts the batter. It's like, yeah, you get the base, but now you're set up to end a double play. I'd rather be like, no thanks. Like, I mean, in high school, they didn't have an intentional walk. You'd have to throw 4 balls, and when our catcher, he was a home run hitter, he'd come up and they'd try to throw balls. On ball 3, he'd swing at it.
Yeah,
and he'd swing at it again. He's like, all right, you're going to pitch to me because I know I'm going to hit the ball if you're feeling that cocky. Like, that's the thing I want to see is them have the chance to ball 3. I'm going to swing at it. All right, it's 2-1. What are you going to do now? You're going to throw to me or you going to walk me? So it's like, I don't know.
You have the possibility of it getting to the backstop. It's happened before, and we've seen, who was it? Somebody, I think it was Vlad Guerrero Sr. just poked the bat out and hit a home run off it. I think Trout did it as well. So every now and then you can get around the intentional walk. So
yeah, I just think it was, I don't know. I hated to see it because it was such a good game, and it's like he could end it right now. And it's like, no, put him on base.
Yeah, baseball is one of the only sports where you can truly take the best player out of the high moment or critical moments. I mean, you can't like tell Tyreek Hill or Patrick Mahomes that they have to sit out the final play of the fourth quarter.
Them, but it ain't gonna work half the time.
Yeah,
right. That just opens up somebody else. So.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking, okay, maybe there's a limit. You can intentionally walk a batter one time per batter, like a game, and then the other times you have to throw 4 balls. It's like you have to be good enough to throw 4 way off the plate for the catcher to catch them and not hit the backstop. It's just like that's just how it is.
Or you make it like a foul in basketball, and once you have more than 5 walks, they start counting for 2 bases. So every walk makes you question whether you want to use it or not.
It's like in men's league softball. After 5 home runs, they start counting as outs. So you gotta be precise.
Be selective.
But enough about Clemson and Florida. There were other games. Evansville looked like America's team until the first inning, and then they lost
until the first pitch.
Yeah, so they gave it a run. You can't fault the Aces for trying, but Tennessee dominated that first and third game as the number 1 seed baseball, all with securing their trip to Omaha. Of course, Texas A&M's there. Kentucky, that was a game. You got to cover the base. That's why they have PFPs, man. I mean, I know they seem useless in the offseason, but you got to cover home. Like, you can't just be lost in the moment, throw a bad pitch, be mad at yourself, and then dude steals home from second base on a pass ball. Like, that's unacceptable. How about the guy's dive? I tweeted it. His Superman dived to win the game, basically. So, game-winning.
That hurt, too. That's turf.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he, full-on belly flopped. But Kentucky makes it to Omaha for the first time in program history. So that was cool to see. What other ones did I miss? Florida State was the first team to punch their ticket to Omaha, taking down UConn.
24-4 first game. That's how you throw the first punch.
I know. What's crazy, it was 24-4, and then game 2 they go to extra innings and they win 10-8. That's baseball.
Virginia, North Carolina State.
Yep. North Carolina takes down West Virginia. Virginia takes down Kansas State, and now we got Georgia and NC State playing right now. Let's see, still 4-2. So we'll stay tuned on how that game turns out. But I want to give College World Series predictions here. I know it's kind of hard with NC State and Georgia still playing, but of course we'll tweet something. But let's go, Tyler. Who's your pick to win it all?
Can I pull Lee Corso since I'm putting out a video tomorrow and saying wait for my pick on Tuesday?
Fine, we'll wait for Tyler's pick on Tuesday. Make sure you subscribe and check out the preview. Wade, who's your pick to win it all?
I'll go with the fun one. A team to end a drought here. I'll go with North Carolina. I just think that they're so complete. I actually am not sure which side of the bracket they fall on, but I think they avoid Tennessee. They're on the Tennessee side?
Tennessee, Florida State, they face off against Virginia 1.
I still like it. Okay, so Tennessee's the SEC team right now that is separated from the other?
Yes.
Okay. And so it's going to be 3-1 and then 4 all on the other?
Mm-hmm. It'll be A&M, Florida.
Or it's 3-1, 3-1, I guess. 3 ACC and 1.
Versus Florida, then either Kentucky versus NC State or Georgia, and then the other side will be Tennessee versus Florida State, and then UNC versus Virginia.
Okay. So, I'll stick with UNC. I mean, I was just baffled that they hadn't won a World Series, but then I remembered a random stat that until Virginia won it a few years ago, an ACC team hadn't won since the 50s. So I guess that would make sense that they hadn't. But you got to think back to like Dustin Ackley and Guy Bolt and all these players that North Carolina's had for them to
Michael Jordan.
Yeah, not at baseball though, huh?
Yeah, he played baseball there.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that was the largest, fun fact for you, largest crowd in Hoover Met Stadium was Michael Jordan.
I know he played
that doesn't make
minors.
sense. North Carolina. The announcer said something that the largest crowd.
I know where you're coming from. He played minor league baseball for the Birmingham Barons, who played at Hoover Met.
And it's the largest crowd to date at that stadium. But I believe he also played in college.
We'll have to fact check that one in a separate
segment.
Keep going.
I'm gonna look this up.
But yeah, I'm gonna go with North Carolina. I guess it's just some bias. I've watched them probably play the most. It would be pretty sweet to see one of the top 3 SEC teams complete the deal. Wouldn't be surprised if any of them won it, but I'll go North Carolina.
You're right. He received a scholarship to play both, but basketball coach would not let him. So, man, that would have been cool. Well,
maybe it was
played minor league. Yeah. I think it worked out okay for Michael Jordan.
Yep.
So Wade's going with the Tar Heels. I don't want to be chalk, but I feel like it's going to be Tennessee. But I don't want to pick them because I hate Tennessee.
There's a stat. The last number 1 national seed has not won it since 1999. Here's a trivia question. Who was that team that won it in 1999?
Southern Cal.
Nope.
LSU.
They're an ACC school.
Oh, okay.
Miami.
Miami. Yeah.
But they weren't in the ACC in 99.
Whatever. They're in the ACC now.
Because LSU won it in 98, and then that's kind of when Miami's run started in 99. Oh, Tennessee just got so much firepower, man. I mean, they hit balls all over the place. And I feel like it's going to be a high-scoring College World Series. That's why I'm not picking Kentucky. They play too much small ball, and I just don't feel like it's going to work out.
The big stadium's going to hurt them.
Yeah. You know what? I hated on them earlier. Give me the Aggies and their bubble blowing.
Stats play well in that stadium.
Yeah.
Wade and I tried to pick them a couple of years ago, and they went 0-2. So hopefully that pick does better this time around.
I know they lost their guy, their third baseman, right? Their top 5 pick,
Montgomery.
I think they're gonna rally for the kid, and they're gonna take it. That coach is doing some special there. You got to let the Aggies have something because they're not winning anything in football. So let them have their moment before Big Brother Texas comes into the SEC. So that's my pick. I'm gonna go A&M. We'll get everybody's picks. I'll put out a nice little graphic so y'all can see who we're all picking. Let's go with the shot challenge, though. Tyler, you can give prediction for this one. Which school is going to win the shot challenge at Rockets?
Well, last year, we were pretty dead on with who was going to win this one. I mean, this school pretty much just blew the doors out of this, and also said that Oral Roberts was going to, do their own. They were not the last place team, so it's got me on my.
So we're giving a first and a last.
Obviously,
first and last.
Okay, first and last. Well, last, so we'll probably have to be either one of the 0-2 teams. I'm going to go Virginia. I think that Virginia, I don't think that they're going to last very long. I mean, that bracket is very tough. They face off against North Carolina. I think that they probably drop that one. And they face the loser of Florida State and Tennessee. So, yeah, I just don't think that's going to go well for Virginia. Nothing against Virginia, but obviously the first place team is you're probably going to give away a national championship pick because it's probably going to be the team that goes all the way to the College World Series finals. I could just go safe pick with Tennessee, but you know what? Give me Florida. I think Florida's a sneaky team. They're playing hot at the right time. I think that their fans could definitely travel. So give me the Gators to take the Jello Shot Challenge.
Okay, I like it. I think last place team, it's got to be shocking, is going to be Kentucky. They like to drink bourbon there. They don't like to drink Jello shots. So I feel like their fan base is not going to be as into the Jello Shot Challenge. Prove me wrong. First place, the party school, Florida State. I think Florida State's gonna, and I also think Florida State's gonna be there for a while. I know they face off against Tennessee, so that's tough, but I think they could figure it out. So give me Florida State to win the Jello Shot Challenge this year.
All right. I'll match Tyler with Virginia getting last place. I mean, this team's won the World Series, so I don't know. Maybe their fans are spoiled. They won't make that return trip. They got the furthest trip. And I think they're the most prestigious academic school we got left.
Walter weighs in. He also thinks Virginia sucks.
Walter does not like whatever is going on outside. One that will drink the most or take the most, I'm going to go with Tennessee, the new kids on the block. I feel like they're like want to be LSU. They're going to definitely want to beat the LSU record.
There's no way.
So, Tennessee.
What was it, Tyler? 88,000?
That won't even be close.
888, right?
68,888.
Like, Morgan Wallen's going to, like, buy out the bar or some shit, you know?
Yeah, but I still don't think he has any he doesn't have enough money to touch Todd Graves or Gordon McKernan.
If you really look at the fan bases, though, like none of those fan bases could really take over Omaha. Like I could definitely see Tennessee. I feel like Tennessee, like those fans could probably take over, but nobody's going to take over like the past like 3 years that Ole Miss, Mississippi State, and LSU fans were.
Yeah,
like
honestly,
State, they might do it.
You might see some LSU fans there. I consider going just to go and have no.
I would rather go in an off
LSU on the board. They would probably win the damn thing, even though they're not there.
I mean, my buddy who's an Aggie, I said, "Hey, do you want to go? Because I'll consider riding up there with you just to go because I have no dog in the fight, and it'd just be nice to enjoy baseball." But he said maybe next year. So hopefully next year we'll have LSU and A&M, and we'll make a trip up there. Last thing, college World Series or baseball talk. Paul Mainieri to South Carolina. Thoughts? He's been retired from LSU for 4 years now.
3 years.
3 years.
2021 was his last year.
Yeah. What are y'all's thoughts on that?
Very surprising about South Carolina. I mean, you go from Mark Kingston to Paul Mainieri. It's not like Paul Mainieri's in his prime anymore, people. He's 66 years old. Like you mentioned, he's 3 years in retirement. And, I'm just shocked that he's going back in the coaching. I mean, he had that neck surgery. I just feel like it was just too grueling for him, and he was at the back end of his career. He pretty much put his heart and soul in LSU. It looks like he was enjoying his time off, on the golf course. I'm sure that he's playing a lot at University Club. He's attending pretty much every LSU baseball game. Pretty much like he's not a head coach, but he's like a really around the program like he always is. So definitely surprising. I just think I just wouldn't have gone with somebody younger. I mean, shoot, even the Evansville head coach would have been a fantastic hire too. I mean, he's an up and coming program. I mean, the Austin Peay head coach. But yeah, I'm just younger one. I mean, Paul Mainieri is definitely one of the better coaches. Don't get me wrong, but the way that South Carolina has been trending has not been just freaking. If you're gonna hire like a 66, just say, hey, Ray Taylor, get your butt back in the dugout and you coach. So, yeah, I just think it's a very puzzling move, and I think that there's going to be a lot of guys moving out, and I think that the big name to look at is Ethan Petrie, his hometown in Florida. I'm going to say it now, my crystal ball prediction, he's going to go with the Gators. I think that he's going to enter the transfer portal and go on down south back to his hometown state.
I was just shocked because when Paul Mainieri retired, NIL was not a thing. And now, and he was already kind of phasing out, losing his touch in recruiting and just keeping up with how the game's evolved. And that's what a lot of us were. I mean, none of us were calling for him to be fired because we obviously respect the guy. He brought us a national championship, coached for 9 seasons at LSU. And we said, maybe it's time for you to just take a back seat, phase yourself out. Let's bring in a new young coach with how that, game's very analytical driven. Just kind of a different approach. And all it worked out. Jay Johnson, national championship in his second year. When this popped up on my Twitter feed today, I was absolutely shocked. The only time I see Paul Mainieri is, like you said, if he's playing golf, attending LSU baseball games, or attending like fundraisers for the LSU baseball team.
Yeah, the banquet.
And now you're going to coach South Carolina. Shocking move. Maybe they got him for cheap and they're trying to put a bunch of money in NIL, but I just don't think he's your guy.
LSU plays South Carolina next year at South Carolina, so a noteworthy series for sure.
Yes, it always is. This is just one extra added benefit. What do you think, Wade? You're a South Kakalaki guy.
I think South Carolina tried to get the biggest name they could, and it's not 2009, so it's not really a good move. For Palmineri, I think personally it's a great move for him. I think he needed to get out of Baton Rouge. I mean, look, the guy's not going to be ever as good as Skip Bertman. That guy's baseball god here. Jay Johnson's quickly surpassing his legacy in year 3. So he's sandwiched in between probably the 2 best baseball coaches we're ever going to have here in Baton Rouge. So I think he needs to get out of town for his own sake and go retire somewhere else. And I think there's worse places in South Carolina to do that. So I think it's a good move for him if he's being offered it. He did interview at Miami and at Notre Dame. So, I mean, I guess it was no secret he was interested in coaching. I'm just surprised South Carolina pulled the trigger. I would have just swung for the fences. I would have tried to poach Clemson's coach. I would have gone up to Oregon State and tried to poach their coach before they're conference-less. I mean, do something. Get East Carolina's coach. But instead, I think they kind of settled here a little bit. Kind of like we've seen some of these football hires in the past, like I just don't know if South Carolina got it right. You brought up a good point. Ray Tanner is probably the same age. That's when this program went downhill. He should have never left the dugout because he's not been a good athletic director. The athletics have struggled since he's taken over, and the baseball team struggled. So I think South Carolina could have had a dynasty if he would have just stayed in the dugout.
Speaking of coaching carousel, it's kind of funny who Texas thinks they are. Coming into the SEC, there's rumors of them trying to poach Jay Johnson and Tony Vitello. That
just sounds like agents trying to get their clients some more money.
Yeah, you're going to see an extension here to Jay Johnson, but Jay Johnson leaving LSU for Texas would not be a lateral move. That would be a just downhill. I mean, Texas historically, program-wise, good program, right? Not in college
That's such
baseball.
A downgrade.
And what Tony Vitello is building in Tennessee, or what he has built over the past few years, chance to win a championship this year, I would not see him leaving Tennessee to go to Texas either. When I heard both of those names, I spit out my drink. I was shocked. I think it's just, and it was Matt Moscona's show who said it. What she also said, Brian Kelly was going to coach at, what was it? Michigan.
I think if I'm Texas, I would definitely go after Clemson's head coach. I think that's more like.
Well, he can't coach first 2 games next year. So
well, yeah, the deal.
I'm surprised to see Vitello go over to Texas, though. I mean, the dude's cocky, money motivated. All of his good players are leaving.
I guess
if he doesn't win it this year, I mean, that could be an open door.
Yeah,
Johnson's just too much on the top right now, and I just feel like it's proven. Like LSU already has the facility that has reputation. Tennessee's a blip on the radar when it comes to baseball. They usually suck. I mean, when all these guys come and go, who knows? They don't have a big stadium. They have.
Do you think that Nick Mingione could be a guy that could move to a big time program? Because like he's built pretty much. Yes. I don't want to say like a powerhouse because it's only one College World Series, but that's like a tough. Like Kentucky is like pretty much just look at this like basketball school, and like over the past couple of years that Nick Mingione has built, that's a pretty dang good program. So I could think like if
Kentucky
a job like
the stadium.
Yeah.
Texas has a worse stadium than all 3 of those schools, but Tennessee's got a good recruiting base, and I feel like they got a little bit better of a program right now, but they don't have a nice stadium. Kentucky does have a brand new stadium, but regionally baseball is not as popular there.
You can't even get hotels to host a regional. So
yeah, that's a good point. That was last year, huh?
Yeah.
And then Texas, I mean, great city, great alumni network within baseball and overall, but the facilities are definitely lacking for the program they think they are. I think LSU puts it all together.
I agree. All right, enough college baseball. Let's get dog of the week. I say enough college baseball. My dog of the week is none other than Cam Canarella, who Clemson center fielder. First, I'm giving them dog, even though they lost. Top of the night, hits a 3-run bomb to tie the game. So that was awesome, right? Just like an absolute line drive over the right field wall. Then he follows it up with watch out, Willie Mays, move over. This might have been the best catch I've ever seen in baseball. He gets absolutely toasted on a line drive to center field, turns around, runs, and kind of like semi lays out for it and hits it with his glove. It bounces it back into his chest, and he holds on to it as he collides with the wall to save the season, which ultimately Florida ended up winning that game. But just those two efforts, I'm giving it to Cam for my dog of the week. Tyler, what you got?
Well, I'm also not done with talking about college baseball because I'm also going to be doing that as my dog of the week. And I'm going to go to the Kentucky Wildcats. And if you want a player or coach, I'll give it to Nick Mingione. He definitely deserves it. One hell of a coach, one heck of a program that he's building down there in Lexington, Kentucky. Their first College World Series appearance ever in program history. This has been a program that's been on the doorstep last year. They went to the Super Regional. Well, they ran into an absolute buzzsaw in Baton Rouge, but this year they got Oregon State, and what a job by them! They won 10-0 in the first game, and Oregon State. This was one heck of an offense throughout the Pac-12. You know, Travis Zana, he was the Pac-12 Player of the Year. They only had 3 hits on the weekend, so fantastic job by their pitching staff, and that does it for the Pac-12. With Oregon State losing, the Pac-12 is officially dead. So RIP the Pac-12.
Yep, end of an era. Who you got, Wade?
All right, I'll spare our listeners from 3 college baseball dogs of the week. I'll kick it over to MLB, match my shirt here. I'll go with Fernando Tatis Jr., hitting .472 in the young month of June, riding a 15-game hit streak. So, yeah, I think Tatis is kind of, he lost some thunder there with the whole steroid scandal, but still one of the game's brightest young talents, and just got to get his team going because they're under 500. But if Tatis continues to hit the leather off the baseball, I think that team could sneak into wild card consideration.
I love it. Tatis, like you said, with the whole steroid situation, people kind of forgot about him, but he's coming back, baby. And I gotta say, Paul Skeens also. I know his last time he pitched, he was against Shohei. Got a 1-for-1 there. I think he's got
a cool moment.
Yeah, he strikes him out. Then the next one, dude hits a nuke off of him. He just turned around and laughed because he knew, it was like, what are you gonna do? You're not gonna strike him out twice. I think he's pitching again this week, so I'll have to tune into that. Whatever his strikeout total is, just hit the over. It seems to happen every time. Let's go to U.S. Open this week in Pinehurst. Pinehurst number 2 returns. Last time they played was 2014, 2015. I can't remember. Couldn't even tell you who won. Tiger Woods is back in the field, which I feel like is just.
Don't take the bait, Chet.
I know. I'm not taking it.
I just want to make the cut. That's really all my only wish.
I know. It's one of those things where I guess when Tiger was in his prime, like obviously we were younger, not really into golf that much. In his resurgence, I remember him winning the 2019 Masters. Wasn't as addicted to golf as I am now. And I really hate it because he's trying to make another comeback. And it's just like, man, I feel like I was let down so much. And I watch every single time he plays because I missed out on the greatness. But then watching Scotty Scheffler play, it's like, this is what Tiger was. This is amazing.
Yes. Your new era.
And it's, I don't know. I would love to see Tiger win another event, but you're playing once a month. You're only playing major tournaments. And the putting's been his big hold up. He just isn't good with the putter anymore. I mean, it's simple to say. Pinehurst has some insane greens. Professional caddy, did say who, anonymous source. One of the caddies today said that this course is playing really, really, really hard. So U.S. Opens traditionally are harder courses. So I'm excited. I loved watching the Memorial Tournament at Muirfield, Jack's place, where Scotty won. The course was playing hard. I mean, Scotty shot 2 over on Sunday and still won, which is also insane to how good of a golfer he is. He had a 4-stroke lead going into Sunday. But let's talk about some U.S. Open picks. Our favorites to win. long shots, and then later in the week, I'm going to post something on Twitter with my top 10, top 20, top 40, which I hit once. Brooks Koepka, you let me down at the PGA Championship. So I actually had Xander in my top 10, and he ended up winning the whole dang thing. So stay tuned to our Twitter for that. Maybe we'll throw it on the YouTube community page. But Wade, start us out. What's your favorite to win?
All right. So I think we all know Scotty is probably everybody's favorite, but I'm going to go with the previous winner here. Seems to kind of play these quirky golf courses well because he's a quirky golfer. I'm going to go with Bryson DeChambeau.
Okay. Previous U.S. Open winner.
Off a mild upset. I think he's probably got top 5 odds or so.
Yeah, he's been playing great in majors. He's actually the 5th favorite plus 1,800. I mean, runner up at PGA Championship. Finished like 6th at the Masters. Also, let's talk about Bryson's PR image for a second. 2-3 years ago, everybody hated him, the Bryson versus Brooksy thing. Then he takes a bag from Liv, and now he's one of the most liked golfers. He's big in YouTube golf, which is pretty cool to see a professional golfer post all of that. And he's just playing really good golf. So I like that pick, Wade. I think Bryson might find his way into that parlay I have cooked up. So what do you got for your long shot? Is it Mr.
I'm going to keep throwing in my ante till the casino says I can't put it in anymore. Got to go with Sanjay M. I don't even know what the odds are. I think I saw they were plus 9,000. So I think that qualifies.
He is plus 7,500.
All right. See, some people are coming in on him.
Yeah, I like it. Tyler, who do you got?
Yeah, I like Wade's pick there, especially Bryson. I'm definitely thinking about that, putting them on the parlay too. I'll be doing that. Hopefully Jacob and I can win us some money here. But I'm going to go with one of the favorites too. Give me Colin Morikawa. I mean, if you looked at his season as a whole, really, really consistent in the U.S. Open. He's really had some real strong finishes. The last 3 outings, 4th place, 5th place, and also 14th place. So I think that this is the year. It's pretty much been like the year, it feels like, of Colin Morikawa and Scotty Scheffler. It feels like those have been the 2 top golfers this season. It's going to be hard to knock off Scotty Scheffler, but if it's going to be anybody that can do it, I think give my money to Colin Morikawa at plus 1,400.
Yeah, I mean, it was the Scotty and Wyndham Clark year because Wyndham Clark was finishing second to him every year, which Wyndham Clark won the U.S. Open last year at LACC. And it's ever since he had those comments about, oh, we should cut half the field out and only be the top 70 players, I don't think he's made a cut. So he's had a big fall off.
Look it into existence.
Yeah. I'm going chalk, man. I'm going with Scotty.
He's betting golf.
He is. I saw something that said if you bet $100 on him in every tournament this year, you would have netted $2,000. And somebody said, oh yeah, well, if you would have bet $100 on or not $2,000, something like that. Someone said if you would have bet $100 on Peter Malnati, who won kind of before Scotty got hot, you would have won $18,000. So you can look at it however you want to look at it. But it's just he's so freaking good at golf. It's greatness in front of our eyes. And I don't even want to what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word where you're shoot, I can't talk now. I don't want to it starts with it. No, I don't want to it's like when you're being mean to somebody. It starts with
demean.
No,
speak down. Talk down.
I don't know. It doesn't come to me. I don't want to just tarnish the year he's having to pick somebody else because it never works out. I'm just going with Scotty. Simple as that. Is my favorite. And I'm not even going to waste money betting on anybody else to win. I'm going to bet on Scotty to win and Scotty to win only. That's it. I'll get cute with these bets on, Bryson plus 1,800 or Brooks, he plays good in majors plus 2,000. Let me sprinkle a little bit on this guy. No.
Nope. Put your $3 on Scotty and buy yourself an icy with it.
Exactly. But the long shot, just because his name is sticking out to me, he played golf with Tiger Woods yesterday morning. The roller coaster of Jordan Spieth, man, plus 6,500. He's something else. This course is insane. He's insane. So I think they fit each other nicely. So we'll see. But stay tuned to the Twitter for the parlay I'm going to cook up. I'm going to get in the lab. We're going to make it right. We're going to post something out there. Other sports news. So our U.S. Open Pinehurst starts Thursday. Tune in. Other sports news. Celtics take an early 2-0 lead against the Mavs. Tyler, you're changing your pick to just a Celtics sweep. Is that?
I don't know what I was thinking. I was just like you with Scotty. I was trying to be too cute. I was literally saying all freaking season. If you go back to literally whenever the NBA season said, like, hey, I said, hey, the Boston Celtics, this is going to be the year that they won it. And then my stupid freaking butt just said, like, hey, I'll just go Luka Doncic. Nope. Sweep. Bring out the brooms.
Celtics and Scotty parlay would have been the chalkiest.
Dave Portnoy has one. It was Celtics or Scotty to win the Masters. Celtics to win,
and the Dodgers to win the World Series.
I don't think he has a baseball.
And the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, well, and I try not to be chalky, right? I mean, these people leave comments on our videos like, oh,
I'm
chalky.
always a diamond in the rough when I bet. Like, I'm not trying to go with all these on favorites.
They're the reason they're the number one seed because they're good enough to win. Like, that's just what it is. I understand it's fun to pick the underdog. But
most of the time, you're not good enough to put $1 in at the casino and get more than $1 back. So it's
exactly.
You got to take your 50-cent wins.
Exactly.
True.
So, yeah, they're up 2-0 on the Mavs. It's heading back to Dallas to see if Luka and the Mavs can come back and take 2 games from him. But not looking like it, especially he's a little banged up. And in this one, I found interesting. Dan Hurley turned down the Lakers job. They offered him $70 million. He said, "No, thank you."
Good for you, man. Good for you.
I like it because you're going to LA to deal with a bunch of prima donnas and Anthony Davis, LeBron James. You got to draft his son. It's just not the way.
Not worth it. Not worth the money. Freaking LeBron James himself.
Yeah, I mean, Dan Hurley coaches his teams hard. Anthony Davis would be hurt the week 1, and then you'd never.
I think that he's like Dan Hurley's a guy that he is built for college. Like, why would you even want to leave a program that you've already built up into pretty much what's going to be becoming a dynasty? You won back-to-back years. You have most of the guys returning. You got a really good recruiting class coming up, and the Big East hasn't really been that great the past couple of years. So yeah, I definitely think that Dan Hurley's making the right move. And after that, he probably bought himself a raise at UConn. It should have happened anyways after winning back-to-back championships.
It did after he turned down Kentucky.
That's my honorary dog of the week. Dan Hurley turning down the Lakers job, giving the big old FU to LeBron. I ain't dealing with you. I'm staying right here.
I think it's Anthony Davis he doesn't want to deal with. I mean, LeBron retires after this year. We're being real.
It's just a bunch of prima donnas in the NBA anyway, so stay in college.
I like it. Stay in college. And then on the NHL side, the Panthers took game 1 against the Oilers. They got game 2 tonight. See if they can even the series. You need to tune over to Rising to the Occasion. They've been doing watch parties for the playoff games, so make sure you tune in over there. Let's see other little headlines. Joe Burrow potentially the Madden cover. Did y'all see that?
That's so random because he might have deserved it 2 years ago.
And Darren Waller's hanging it up after much turmoil the past couple of months. He releases his divorce video with his new music career, so he's hanging up the cleats, switching to the
mic too.
Hey, it's easier for me on the fantasy football corner. I don't have to rank him.
Yes, I don't have to have the temptation of picking him.
Tyler, you mentioned you had a hidden gem. What is it? Let us know.
It's not sport. It's not a sport, but I feel like everybody can just appreciate what this man has done for the past 40 years and 8,000 episodes. None other than Pat Sajak. He retired from the popular TV and game show Wheel of Fortune. If you don't like Wheel of Fortune, well, then I don't like you. So yeah, I definitely I don't think that this is going to be. I don't even know if I can watch this show anymore without Pat Sajak. I just don't know if it's good. It's like Jeopardy. It's like Jeopardy is not the same anymore without Alex Trebek. So thank you for 40 years. I was there for about 26 of them. So, yeah, it was definitely a treat to watch that every single night. And, yeah, definitely kudos to you. Enjoy your retirement. I'm sure he's going to go on plenty of vacations.
Yeah, Tyler came out watching Wheel of Fortune out the womb, man. 26 straight years. Now, Wheel of Fortune was a staple growing up. Wade, you got one? you find one? I don't have one.
No,
so,
well,
okay, if you don't.
Yeah, I do have a bone to pick, so that'll be my hidden gem.
Okay.
Lamborghini Austin set up a wonderful display of Lamborghinis in burnt orange, black, and white and gray. A bouquet of Lamborghinis, if you will, outside of Texas's new facility. And it's just everything that's wrong with college football, because a year ago, if a player like bummed a Nissan Altima from Enterprise because his car was getting an oil change, like he'd get suspended 3 games. And now these guys are like, ooh, I'm going to commit to Texas because they're giving me the black one, but ooh, Alabama might give me the red Ferrari. Like, just let the kids pick where they wanted to go to school and then pay them whatever you want. I just hate the bargaining on the front end of like, oh, we can offer you this, or we can give you this much money. Like, pick the school. And then if he plays super well and is going to win the Heisman Trophy and Texas wants to give him a Lamborghini, then do it, because I'm sure the market value presents itself. Right. I just don't like it being flaunted when these guys are like juniors in high school and it's like the only reason why they go to Texas. I mean, it has nothing to do with the school. It's a Lamborghini.
Let's be honest. If they're picking their school based on that, they're probably not going to work out. They're not going to be stars.
But they're going to be. We got to deal with this little dog and pony show at the front end, and then okay, so then they don't work out. Then we got to go into transfer portal and pluck somebody from another school. It's just a terrible cycle.
Yeah, it's really hurting the entertainment value for the fans. Well, I say that. It's kind of like golf and the whole live stuff. It's all about the money now. None of us care if the rich get richer. We watch sports to forget about our problems, not to realize that this 18-year-old's getting $1 million in a Lambo. Okay, I'm with you, Wade. We might sound like old boomers, but I'm with you. I think,
and he probably is worth it. He probably deserves it. I just wish that, like, the whole thing with NIL was that they're like, oh, these guys are working really hard for the school that you love, and they're not getting any money. And we all came around to that idea. But now it's like they don't have any allegiance to the school. It's just who's going to throw them the bag.
The paychecks. Exactly.
It all goes back to what the NCAA isn't doing.
And they can't do anything now.
No, it's out. The dog's off the leash. It's done.
Yeah. So,
you know what? I'm grateful for NIL coming back, because we got our video game coming back, so they can have their Lambos and screw it, whatever the heck they want to do.
For what?
Just give me July.
$600.
Give me mid-July, baby.
Delta plane ticket.
That's my Lamborghini right there.
Tyler, we're never going to see Tyler again. Nope. All right. NASCAR Neil.
You'll see me on Twitch.
Start your engine.
Yes, Tyler, we will see you on Twitch. I heard that right before I hit the NASCAR Neil. All right. Race weekend in Sonoma. This weekend's race in Sonoma featured another round of the Australian Invasion. Ooh. With both Will Brown and Cam Waiters coming over from supercars, much like SVG did last year in Chicago. First 2 stages of the race was a caution fest with 8 between the start and end of stage 2, which is abnormal for road courses as of late. Stage 3, however, went green all the way through with great long run battles. Reigning race winner Truex dominated late race, but Larson was attempting to run him down. He ultimately caught him as Truex ran out of fuel, making it 2 weeks in a row now that the leader coming into the checkered flag has run out of fuel, with Blaney having the same issue last week. With this, Larson was officially granted a playoff waiver and had his points restored. Huh, interesting. I don't know what happened there. It was also announced that Stuart Haas Racing will be shutting down and selling their charters at the end of the season. Major news, since the team has had great success, including the 2014 championship, but has been struggling in recent times. This is good, however, for teams wanting to expand by having charters available for purchase at a cheaper price. So get them while they're hot. Front Row has brought one, with Trackhouse and 2311 rumored to each get one, each with the fourth not having a clear buyer at this time. But interesting to see what happens with the 4 drivers now out of a ride for next year, in addition to Rodney Childers, one of the top crew chiefs, being available. This would be like if Mike Tomlin was suddenly available to coach for any team next year.
Which he just signed an extension, so he will not be.
Yes. Good news there, Wade. That pretty much wraps up the show. Anything else, gentlemen? Stay tuned for tomorrow's Omaha preview. That's how we'll be releasing. We appreciate all the fans for helping us reach 2,000 subscribers, helping us get to that monetization level on YouTube. Really appreciate it. It's like NIL. We're working hard. Now we're getting a little bit of money.
Buy my subscription.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
else I'm leaving.
Where's my Lambo?
Where's our maybe we'll work on that. Hope you all have a wonderful week. Make sure you subscribe, follow us anywhere you get your podcast, and we'll catch you next time.